Hey guys, what's going on? Now, before you say anything, I know exactly what you're thinking. Sammy, that's not a Game Boy Advance, and you're not wrong. This is a modded 3DS XL that I've injected ROMs onto because I am going to talk about collecting Game Boy Advance stuff in Japan. But the reason why I don't have an actual Game Boy Advance here with me is because those consoles are very, very expensive here. I would say they're even more expensive than they are in America. So I'll probably end up getting myself an actual Game Boy Advance here somewhere down the line. But because they're so expensive, I would kind of like to wait until I've saved up a little bit more money, so I'm not, just blowing it all on one thing. And also because I would like to try to find a Game Boy Micro, which is a variation of the Game Boy Advance that came out super late. Like the DS was already out, and it didn't sell super well in America. I think it did a little bit better here because I've seen a lot of them, but they're usually going for somewhere over $100 every time I see them. So I haven't picked one up yet. But for now, for this video, I'm just going to talk about some really good deals on Game Boy Advance games that I've found, and just share those with you guys. So hopefully I'm not letting you down too much. So no console, but there are lots of games to talk about, so let's get into it. Alright, the first game I have here to talk about is not Pokemon Pinball. I just wanted some ambience here in my little scene that I have set up. But it's actually Pokemon Ruby, the Japanese version of Pokemon Ruby here. I really love Pokemon Gen 3. I started with... Actually, Pokemon Leaf Green was my first Pokemon game. So it was kind of like I was getting a little taste of Gen 3 and Gen 1 at the same time. But Pokemon Ruby was one of the Pokemon games I played soon after that. I first played Leaf Green, then I played Pearl, because that had just come out like a year later. And then a year later after me playing Leaf Green, not after Leaf Green coming out, my bad. But and then I went back and played Ruby. So I was really excited to find this game complete in box for only $13, which even in Japan, that's a really good price for this game complete in box. The Game Boy Advance prices are going up a lot, not only consoles but games as well. And the Pokemon series is one of those franchises that is getting hit pretty hard from nostalgic people like me, wanting to play these games again, and their prices are going up quite a bit. And I was really surprised to find a complete in box copy of Ruby for only $13, because from what this one guy I watch on YouTube, Jay Contra, was saying, the GBA Pokemon games were getting really expensive in his area, but he was in the Tokyo area when he was talking about that, and game prices in Tokyo don't really reflect the entire country because that's a very touristy part of Japan. But yeah, I was really surprised to see this for such a low price, so I picked it up. Pokemon, the third generation of Pokemon, I remember back when Gen 4 was the newest, and I used to always be like, I think Gen 3 is probably my least favorite out of the first 4 generations. I'll fix that later. But after the train wrecks that have been Gens 5 through 8, and they're not all train wrecks, but they just haven't captured, that magic that I think the first 4 generations have. So Gen 3, I definitely do not consider it to be one of my least favorites like I used to. Gens 5, 6, and 7 have definitely taken some of that heat from me. But I really love Gen 3, and sorry, I'm not turning this into a Pokemon rant video, but yes, very happy to find this. Alright, and next up is a game that I do kind of have sort of mixed feelings on, and that is Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. As some of you probably know, I really love the Kirby games. It's not that I don't like Kirby, it's just that this game in particular It's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But they did this thing with Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, where they turned it into like an open world Metroidvania game, and I didn't like it that much. Now, I haven't played it since I was a kid, so I'm really excited to try it out again. But this was like the one Kirby game I ever was like, it was the one it's the only one I've played where I was just like, man, I don't know if I like this. I mean, because most of the time it's like, Kirby's Kirby. If you like Kirby, you're gonna like any Kirby game. But it's really just the only thing that I didn't love about this one was the whole open world thing. I don't know, I just feel like, from what I remember of it, I just felt like it didn't work that well. But I know there's a lot of people who love this game, and I mean, that's fine. I have no beef with you if you don't like this game, but there were a lot of things that I really did like about this game. Like, it had a lot of cool bosses, like this guy. I love that design. That's amazing. Also, I really love the way Kirby controlled in this game. In both of the GBA Kirby games, actually, I felt like Kirby controlled he felt really fast, very agile, and I like that a lot because Kirby 64, all of the the original Dreamland trilogy, Kirby feels really slow in those games. And if you haven't played those, maybe you haven't noticed, or maybe if those are the only Kirby games you played, maybe you haven't noticed. But I really love the way Kirby feels in this game, and this is really cool. Just a sticker. That's awesome. I actually haven't seen this before. Just that's amazing. That's probably not a very easy thing to come by. And then Club Nintendo. You can try to type it in on Steam and see if you get Kirby. See if you get a Kirby game. And what is this? Oh, this is an ad for Kirby's new album. Oh wow, that's awesome. Okay, yeah, but I mean, no, this game's really cool. And I should mention, I paid $8 for this, so a really good deal, complete in box. But yeah, I'm excited to jump back into this game and try it again, because I did kind of have mixed feelings about it back in the day. But anyway. Alright, next up is a game that I've been trying to find in America for the longest time, and every time I did find it, it was just way too expensive, and I'm talking cartridge only, it was expensive. So before before my 3DS spoils it, this is Dragon Ball Adventure. I can't remember in America if it was called like Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure or something like that, but this is, in my opinion, one of the best Dragon Ball games ever made, just in general. I'm even talking Z. I mean, this just covers like original Dragon Ball, when Goku was a kid and all that. Okay, yeah, Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure, there we go. But this game is so good. It's a 2D platformer, beat 'em up, and then it also has some, like, the boss fights and stuff are like a 2D fighting game, and it's just so good. The sprite work in this game is beautiful. The gameplay is super smooth, super fun. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, especially original Dragon Ball, if you love that original series, check this game out, emulate it, play it any way you can, because it's that good. Because in America, the cartridge, I've seen it going for like 40 or 50 bucks, cartridge only. Now, I got this, I was gonna say complete in box, but it's actually not. It was missing the manual, and it's a little bit beat up. But this was only $8, and I'm just glad to finally officially own this game, because I've only played it on an emulator before, and this game is just so good. I can't recommend it enough. So if you like Dragon Ball, or if you just want, a really good action platformer beat 'em up type of game on the Game Boy Advance, give this one a try. I wholeheartedly recommend this game. Alright, now next up, and in honor of our good friend, Mr. Slime here, I have Slime Mori Mori Dragon Quest. As amazing of a name that is. This is a Dragon Quest spin-off game, and the first game in a trilogy of Dragon Quest spin-off games that we know in America as Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime on the DS. Now that DS game was the second game in this series. This one is a Japan exclusive, and then the third one was a Japan exclusive on the 3DS. And these games are a top-down Zelda, it's like a top-down 2D Zelda style action game where you play as a slime who goes around collecting his friends who have been stolen and put into treasure chest, and you're basically collecting your friends in these Zelda-like dungeons and rebuilding a town. And I'm just noticing, I'm noticing these stickers on the top. June. I don't know what that means. I can read that, but I've never heard that word before. I've never seen that on a Game Boy Advance game before, so maybe that's from like an old used game store. I don't know what June means. If you know what that means, please let me know in the comments. But yes, this is a really cool game, and you just get so much cool artwork here. If you love slimes, this is the game to play. I mean, this game, this trilogy of games is just all about the slimes. So, and I feel like a lot of people really enjoyed the second game on the DS that we did get in the West. And I just feel like not many know that there are two other games in that series. That there was a prequel, which is this game, and then there was a sequel on the 3DS. So yeah, I mean, check this one out. I paid, this one was also only $8, complete in box. So yeah, check it out, emulate it. There is no English translation. At the time of me making this video, there is still no fan translation of this game. But I think you could get by without it. But, you know, there is text because it is, you know, like an action RPG. But, you know, if you just want to try it out, I suggest just emulating it and, you know, see how far you can get. But it's a really cool game. If you love Dragon Quest, if you love the Rocket Slimes game that we did get, check this one out for sure. And if you like hearing me poorly pronounce Japanese words, you're in luck, because next up we have Kudu Paradise. This is the second Kudu game out of a total of 3, I believe. The first 2 were on the Game Boy Advance. This is the second one here, as I said. And the third one was on the GameCube. This game costed me around $10, I think. It was definitely no more than 10. But this is a super cute, I want to say, puzzle game. It's kind of hard to describe. You could call it like a maze game, because the way this game works is you're going through these levels that are basically like mazes. Here, I'll just try to show you a picture on the back. And you play as, here, this is a good representation of the actual game. You play as this thing. You're this bird, and you're piloting this weird line-shaped ship. And you're going through these mazes, and your ship is constantly rotating, and you kind of have to squeeze through gaps and stuff without touching the walls, and you're avoiding obstacles. It's really fun. So it's kind of like a puzzle action game, I guess you could call it. But you're just like going through these maze-like levels. It's really fun. This is the second game in the series. They are still really cheap. I think the GameCube one might be getting a bit more expensive, but the Game Boy Advance games are still really cheap. So, like I've said with everything else in this video, if you want to try it, honestly emulate them. I love this artwork though. Emulate them if you really want. I mean, I almost said if you really want to support the company. I mean, you would be buying it from a reseller. But I mean, actually, I think one of the GBA games, I think, was released on the Wii U Virtual Console, because the first one was the first Kudu game was released in Europe. But these games, you definitely don't need to read any Japanese to play. So, like, don't worry about that. If you do want a physical copy, you want to get the Japanese version, go ahead. Like, you literally will, the only text will be, like, you reading the menu and starting the game, you know. But other than that, yeah, I definitely recommend these games. I haven't found the second one Or sorry, this is the second one. I haven't found the first one in the box yet, but when I do, I will definitely pick that up because these games are super cool and definitely deserve more love. So check it out if you're interested. All right, guys, and next up here, I'm going to show two games because they're both part of the same series. Before my 3DS spoils them, we have the legendary Starfy 2 and the legendary Starfy 3. These games are always compared to Kirby games, and I mean, they're super similar. You play as this starfish named Starfy, and all the levels basically take place underwater. So like I can see where it gets compared to Kirby because you have that free movement. Kirby can float and Starfy can just swim. So it's like you get that free vertical and horizontal movement. But these games are really cool, super cozy little platformers on the GBA here. Love this art. But yeah, these games are super cute. And we never got there. To my knowledge, now I might be wrong, but I know for a fact there are at least 5 Starfy games. 1 through 3 are on the GBA here. Oops, I just dropped something. 1 through 3 are on the GBA. This is a really cool looking GBA too, by the way. And then there was 4, and then there was a 5th one. So the 4th and 5th games were on the DS. We got one of those in the West. And I don't think it was the 4th one. I think it was the 5th one. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm very sorry. But I'm pretty sure I'm right. And look, here's some more cool stickers. What is with the GBA games coming with these amazing stickers? But that's awesome. But yeah, again, really cool games, super chill. If you like Kirby, definitely play these. It's not exactly like Kirby, but I mean, if I had to compare it to something, I mean, that's what everyone who's ever talked about Starfy on the internet has compared it to Kirby. So I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, Starfy 2 and 3, I paid around $10 for both of them, complete in box. And from what I've seen, the first one is the most expensive here in Japan. It's only available here in Japan, so I guess I don't really need to specify that. But so the first one, complete in box, is the most expensive from what I've seen, but it's not like that expensive. It's like maybe 15 to 20 bucks instead of 10 like I paid for these two. So I haven't found that one yet, but when I do, I'll definitely pick it up. But yeah, there's Starfy. Check these games out. Like I say with everything, emulate them. GBA games are super easy to emulate. I don't think these were ever officially released, on the Wii U eShop or anything. So don't worry. There's no way to support the creators. Just emulate them. Don't tell Nintendo. All right. And the last game that I have here for the Game Boy Advance, it's not WarioWare Twisted. You're gonna see WarioWare Twisted on the screen there. That's not the game I have, because I don't have. I forgot to put a ROM of it on my 3DS. But the game that I have, I'm gonna press this so that there's actually stuff going on. Okay, there we go. This is Rhythm Tengoku, or as we know it in the West, is Rhythm Heaven. This is the very first Rhythm Heaven, and we never got this one. Our first Rhythm Heaven was the DS game, and I actually haven't played this yet. I've been waiting to find a physical copy of it to play it, because with rhythm games, it is probably best to play it on original hardware, just because if you're playing it on an HD TV or something, there could be some degree of input lag depending on your method of playing it. But and the reason why I put WarioWare Twisted on the screen there is because for those of you who haven't played a Rhythm Heaven game before, I don't know why I'm showing the instructions here. I'd say the best thing you could compare it to is probably a WarioWare game, because all these games are just a series of short mini games where it all revolves around rhythm. Hence the name, obviously. But this game's really cool. I definitely recommend people try it. If you it's got that same kind of weird humor that the WarioWare games have. It's got the same kind of art style. Let me show you the screenshots. Like this onion, that looks like I'm pretty sure there's something that looks just like that in WarioWare. Like, you know, it's just these really fun, very rhythm precise mini games, and yeah, it's super good. I don't know what else to say, but it's really good. So oh, and I guess I should say this one is a bit more expensive, but the reason why I picked it up is, one, it's in super good condition, and two is because it was only $15 when I found it, and this is a game that's going for, you know, usually 20 to 30 complete in box. I actually saw it at another store before I found this copy, going for like $30, and you know, luckily I didn't pick that one up. I almost did, and then I found this one for $15, and this one's like in even better condition. So I'm really happy I found that. That's my last game to show off in this video. Like always, you know, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to put those in the comments. Obviously, I don't know where else you would, but sorry, I'm not good at end of YouTube video speeches. But yeah, comment. Let me know if you have any questions about collecting in Japan or anything like that, or just say hi. It gets kind of lonely here, so I wouldn't mind if someone was just like, "Hi, Sammy." I'll say hi back. I don't mind. But anyways, guys, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around if you made it this far. I know I can ramble sometimes, but yeah, this is just kind of a fun thing for me to do. I like talking about this stuff and showing people things that I like. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Everyone, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.